betrayal, lies, lust, and pain. Mir's Thoughts, Chapter 3. I mean, we talk about what we want in the future, right? We talk about what we think we see ourselves having. If you're trying to start a family, or if you're someone that just wants to finally find a person that can match what you have to offer. The betrayal, that is a feeling that you can't just easily shake off. You want to show the person that you're with that you're really about them. Now, I wasn't really comfortable at first releasing this episode because it would leave me very vulnerable. But I'm not going to be able to be successful in my journey with this podcast if I'm not going to be truthful, if I'm not going to be honest and open. So I say all of this to say, I've been a person that has always been very vocal, as from what I'm assuming my listeners already know. And if you've never heard anything that I have ever done podcast-wise, well, here you go. I've put myself out there on numerous occasions. I thought it was for love. That's what I used to think I was doing it for. But then I realized that that's not really how you're supposed to go about seeking quote unquote love. You're not even supposed to be looking for it, honestly. You're supposed to let it happen naturally. I can only go by what I've seen as a kid. The only love I've seen and witnessed was my mother and my stepfather. And there was a lot of violence and hurt being thrown in each other's faces. It was a lot of pain. So as I got older, and I was old enough to have my own relationship, all it ever was betrayal. All it ever was lies. All it ever was just, it wasn't love, it was definitely lust. I wasn't taught by my mother to love myself. I wasn't taught to know my worth. That was something I had to figure out later on in life. When you don't know your worth, you put yourself out there to get hurt. I mean, let's face it, we have to take a risk in life in order for us to find, that person that we want to spend the rest of our lives with. I've wasted years. I know time is, it's not good to say time that you've spent with a person is a waste, but I'm going to be completely honest. In my eyes, it was a waste. Yeah, it taught me a lesson, but every person that I came across was always a lesson. It killed me, nearly killed me on the inside. Watching myself give a part of me to men that didn't deserve me. And I don't know, I just thought that based on what I saw, with my upbringing, with what I thought was an example of love, it was all I was able to see was toxicity, toxic. I never want to find myself asking a man to respect me again. I never want to find myself struggling to get somebody to see that I was worth it. In the end, we all just want somebody that's still going to choose us over anyone else, over everyone else. I keep running into men that are broken. And I can't keep blaming the men. I have to look at myself and what I'm doing wrong to attract those same types of men. So I came to the realization that it is definitely me who is definitely broken. And it takes a lot of courage to admit that. It takes a lot of courage to find the strength to admit what we are doing wrong in general. We are often used to just saying, oh, that person did this to me. And even if the person, they did rude, messed up things, you got to take accountability, because a person will only do to you what you allow. I'm talking like I basically wasted my 20s looking for love. I don't ever want to do that again. And here I am in my 30s, reflecting on the times that I found myself with people that were selfish while I was being selfless. So while they were being selfish, I was being selfless, because that's what I watched my mother do. I thought that was the right thing to do. But now I'm realizing that you have to be selfish too. It starts within the home. And once a child grows up and they leave that home, I left my home at 16. I had to grow up fast. I had to become adult at an early age. So I was definitely an adult at 16. I dropped out of high school and got my GED before my 17th birthday. So I was 17 with a GED. And I was already playing house with a man in his 20s who was telling me everything I could think of that I would, wanted to hear. But he was just using me. A man that runs around with different women is a man that's not happy with himself. A man that could lay next to a woman knowing that she's giving her all to him, and he can still find the energy and the strength to betray her and go to other women instead of just looking at her as the woman that he needs. I'm so used to being idolized for the wrong reasons that I couldn't even tell you how it feels to even be loved by a man. It's actually just an eye-opener. I don't know what will happen in the future. I can only say what I would like to happen. I've spent time, I've spent money, I've spent energy. I wasted the years of my youth looking for love, and I got lust instead. Blindsided by being naive, by me making poor decisions. And I can take accountability for the choices I've made. And nobody ever wants to admit when they are wrong. Naturally, out of habit, we're quick to just be like, it's that person's fault. And even though, as I said earlier, this person could have done all the wrong things and all the bad things and did things to you that you never would have thought to do. And we still have to take accountability for that too, right? I would have been a mother. I say would have because I didn't go through with it. It was a tough decision I had to make, but I don't have any regrets. I know that I wasn't living right mentally and financially at the time when I was in a situation where I was about to be a mother, basically. And I'm glad it didn't happen because my child in the future deserves so much more. They deserve to have a father that loves their mother. A father that wants to be there no matter what and be there for his family. I want my child in the future to be able to say they saw their father love their mother properly. To have the example of what an honest and true love should be. I can't expect myself with a person to be perfect, everything to be perfect. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. It's crazy because you don't realize how damaged a person is until you try to love them, right? You don't realize how emotionally unavailable you've become because you were hurt in so many ways by the people that you least expected to hurt you. You're not supposed to have expectations from people, right? But for some apparent reason, I keep expecting people to have the same heart as me. I mean, there's really no other way to explain that. I've watched a man I guess I thought I was in love, but I found out that wasn't love. But I've watched a man that I was with for years give the next woman everything I wanted him to give me. You never know how strong you are until you have to, admit what you did wrong also in the situation for it to have gotten so far as the person being able to hurt you. You have to be a strong person to be able to accept an apology from a person who never told you that they were sorry. And I'm not saying anything that nobody else possibly couldn't relate to. I've had a man sleep next to me every night and have a child with another woman behind my back and lie to me continuously every night. I've had a man who I invested the years of my 20s, okay? My 20s were gone. I can't even say what I did other than try to look for love. I feel like at the age of 31, I'm basically giving myself a do-over. like as if I was still in my 20s. It comes down to being a person that you know that you would want for yourself. But it doesn't really work like that now, does it, right? You can't expect people to have the same heart as you. I don't know, I had this fear of abandonment. Something that I got as a child. Because my father, my biological father, got up one day and said he didn't want to be a father anymore and just walked out of my life. That man I said goodbye to. And when he died, a part of me died. A part of me that I don't think I could ever revive back. And I've been doing my therapy. I've been doing everything I could do for myself and bettering myself and pushing myself. Success is fine. You can strive to be successful. I mean, but what's success if you don't have that person that you see yourself growing old with and being with right next to you? Like, why does it always feel like when you get to the top, it feels so lonely? I'm on my way. Literally, I'm on my way to climbing up to the top within my current career and the things that I'm doing. But I can't help to wonder, when does it stop? Why do I keep running into people who don't have the same heart as me? There's something that I keep doing wrong. It's because when I see a red flag, I don't immediately just leave. I stay. Because I keep thinking that that person is going to change. Only to find out that people don't change. They are who they are. And the side that you see is what basically is what you're going to get. If a person is serious about having you in their life, they'll want to change. And then that's when they'll change. They're not going to change when they see tears coming out of your eyes. They're not going to change when you're fighting with them and arguing with them about how they keep hurting you. It doesn't work like that. They will change if they want to change, but they would have to want to. I don't know if I'm ever going to find myself with somebody that's ever going to really love me. So I'm going to do everything I can to love me even harder. To love myself even harder. That's all I want to do. Because I deserve that. I deserve that much. That's what makes me feel stronger each and every day. I thank God every day that I can get up and still push myself. Because no matter what, no matter how much love I have in my heart, I know that it's very important for me to protect that love. Because I'm going to always find a person that's empty, that's looking for a refill. I believe in energy drainers. And there's so many of those out there. Even from friends to family. It's all the same. I'm tired of people telling them how they should treat me. I'm tired of people telling me that they love me, but their actions show the very opposite. I'm tired of being told how people appreciate me just for them to turn around and show me how they never really did. I've spent money, I've spent time, I've spent energy. I don't even want the money back. I wish I can get the time and energy back. I'm good on everything else. I've made that money back. I've spent. But that time I invested and the energy that I gave, I'm just never going to see that. In return, I'm never going to get that back. It's lost. I still believe in love. I still believe in loyalty. I still believe in being committed to one person. I still believe in having a life with somebody who is okay with waking up every day next to me, who is okay with wanting to just wrap their arms around me and look at me like as if I was one of the best things that's ever happened to them. I still believe that that's possible for some strange reason, even though I've always been shown differently. This was really hard to record because this is, again, me being vulnerable, me being truthful, me being myself, me just being raw. I think the most hurtful thing is to find myself with a man that's intimidated by me because he feels like because I made more money than he did, that I was a threat. He didn't congratulate me. He didn't want to see me do better than him. There is nothing more hurtful than laying next to a person and thinking that you're, in good hands, and in the same bed next to you, they're thinking about ways to plot against you and how they can really hurt you. And they continuously lie and fool around with other women. And then when you find out about it, they blame you for the choices that they made. They blame you. Make it seem like you made them sleep with other women, which is crazy to me. And I'm not going to sit here and say women don't do the same thing. I feel like it's both. Men and women do this to each other. But I always run into the men that got fucked over by women like that. I keep running into men like that. So when they meet me instantly and feel like I'm going to do the same thing that their exes or whoever did to them, and it's like a cycle. Hurt people hurt people. I don't want to be hurt anymore. It's almost like as if I just rather put myself in a box. I keep telling myself my next relationship is definitely going to be my last. I mean, at this point, there's ups and downs. It's been far more downs than ups, to be honest. And there's days where I just feel like maybe I should just leave. But I know that I'm not with a man who's a bad man. I am actually with a good man. But he's been hurt before too. We all have. Nothing worth having in life will ever come and remain easy. One Mare Talks.